Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to Feed the Beast Inventions. So it's been a while since I've played on here. I've really been getting caught up in Sky Factory 2.5 and I'm really liking it, but I figured it was time to come back here and take a look at a few things. Now, we have been having some major lag issues on the server. I haven't been able to completely narrow it down, but part of it is attributed to Permarin's mob spawner. For some reason it builds up mobs and they don't despawn, so he had a lot of mobs over there and it was causing some problems, but right now we seem to be doing okay, so hopefully it stays that way. So first off, I had a comment here that I totally did not think about here. I was putting the glowstone nooks in the corners here to light up my kitchen, and somebody said, well, you can put carpenter's blocks in here. So I didn't even think about that, but we can go ahead and pick up this one redwood plank here, and we'll place down a carpenter's block in its place. So now what we do is we shift right click a glowstone on that, and that causes that block to be illuminated, and then we could take our redwood plank and put it on there, and it looks just like anything else. So if we press F7, we can still see there's some spawnable space over here, but everything is non-spawnable over there. So if we just come over here, let's say right here, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing right here. And this spawnable space here will disappear. So we can get rid of all of our torches, we can get rid of any of the glowstone nooks that we have, and yeah, it'll look pretty good, I think. Oops, and we don't want to do it that way. We don't want to shift right click that. We want to just right click it on there. So yeah, that gets rid of all of the spawnable space over here, so we can get rid of all of our torches in here if we want to. That'll be kind of nice. So I might have to work on that. Now the next thing is that I have finally gotten my transmutation table moved over here. Still need to set up a few more of these pieces right here. But right now we do have the table set up so that we can do some exchanging, and I'm going to just move a few things around there. But yeah, that section of the house, still got to do some work on it. I've got an idea of what I want to do over there, but it's going to take a little while to build. And I don't really feel like doing a really buildy episode today. I've been doing a lot of building over on Sky Factory, and it's just kind of time consuming. So one thing that I have been doing here, been kind of popping in and out of the server from time to time, just for a little bit every once in a while, and I've been collecting oil. So I have this massive railcraft tank set up here. This is a maximum size railcraft tank made out of steel. This thing can hold 20,000 buckets. We have almost 16,000 buckets of oil. So I just recently finished up with one reservoir of oil that I'm pretty sure had about 10,000 buckets in it. It was absolutely huge. It was probably about 30 blocks or more in diameter. It's just an absolutely massive area of oil, and so I want to start using this oil. So now we do have the Buildcraft refineries. Now these things are really slow, but if you make a large bank of them, you can get oil changed into fuel pretty easily. We have used these in the past, but I want to try something a little different. So you can see I've got Engineer's Toolbox pulled up here, and this has a refinery socket for the socket frame. So I've never done anything with Engineer's Toolbox. I've never seen anyone do anything with Engineer's Toolbox, so this could be interesting. So most of this stuff is pretty simple to build. We're just going to head back in here to our ME system so that we can make a few things, and we're going to see what this is all about. So first off, we need the socket frame, and everything moved around. So the socket frame here, we can either use steel and a piece of emery to make 4 of the socket frames, or bronze and emery. And we're going to go with the bronze because, well, yeah, I think we got a whole bunch of that. So we're going to go ahead and make up 4 of the socket frames, and then we want to make the refinery, which is now on page 2. So the refinery takes 4 diamonds, a bucket, a blank module, and a power management device. So the blank module, red dye, green dye, blue dye, glowstone dust, a machine chassis, and some glass panes. Well, the machine chassis is aluminum or tin, and gold nuggets. Now, I think we're going to go with the aluminum ingots on this one. Looks like we have some others. We can use iron, or we can use copper and aluminum. Interesting. Copper and tin, or copper and iron. So we do have some options here. I think we're going to go with the aluminum and gold nuggets. And we have no aluminum. Really? Well, we have some aluminum dust. What about bauxite? So we have a huge amount of bauxite, a lot of it from Immersive Engineering and quite a bit of it from Tech Reborn. We should probably run this stuff through the equipment over in our power factory, but I guess we won't be able to make that out of the aluminum. So instead we'll have to go with tin. So we'll make up 2 of these machine chassis, and now we'll go ahead and make our blank module. And we're missing green dye. So let's see, do we have any cactus? We have just a little bit. Well, we can use eelgrass to make green dye. So that'll at least give us 1 blank module. So we can make this. There's 12 blank modules. It makes quite a few of them, actually. So now if we go to the refinery, we need this power management device. Pretty simple here, redstone, lead, and gold nuggets. Or we can use nether quartz. I am definitely going to go with the lead. Looks like we also can use lead and copper, or nether quartz and copper. Gold nuggets and lead is going to be my preferred choice. So we're going to put that in here. Then we just need the diamonds in the bucket. And we're missing the bucket. Of course. Boy, we don't have much of anything. So there we go. That should take care of all of that. So now we have the refinery. So now I have no clue how this thing works. So if we place down this socket frame, I think we're supposed to be able to click these onto here somehow. We might need some tools. So we do have the engineer's wrench. That's pretty simple. So I don't know if we have a button available. No, we don't. So the button, of course, is just some smooth stone. And let's go ahead and make up the engineer's wrench. So okay, so we can change certain things about this. So can we put the refinery on here now? No. So there's definitely some stuff I need to figure out here. Is there a book for this mod? It does not look like it. So I may have to go and do a little bit of research, try to figure out how this mod actually works. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of stuff to put in. Now, wait a minute. We have the socket frame and we have the modular socket. Okay, well, let's try that real quick, just because I want to give it a try. So where did that thing go? Right here. So we need the electronic circuit. Very simple, either gold and redstone or copper and redstone. Once again, we're going to go with the gold. Okay, so here, let's get rid of a few things out of our inventory. And then we need... So we just made that. So we have a power management device in there. We need a bucket. Where's the bucket? Okay, there's a bucket. Oh, we're out of iron. Okay, so the modular socket. What can we do with this thing? Can we put the refinery on here? Yes, we can. Okay, so now the question is, what do we do with this? So... okay, we can remove the socket with a wrench. It doesn't look like it takes any durability. So there's probably going to be some other things that we need, like a fluid input or something like that. Yeah, fluid input. We'll probably need a fluid output. There's going to be a few things we're going to have to do here. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, see if I can figure out how this mod actually works. And okay, a shift right click on that one will pick it up. Doesn't work on this one, so we just break that. So yeah, there's no uses on that, so it's got to be used somewhere within the mod. I don't know if these are multi-block structures or what, but yeah, I'm going to do a little research on this mod, see if I can figure out what's going on. I would like to be able to figure out how the refinery works so that we can turn some of that oil into fuel, but I'm going to get that all figured out, and I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I have done a fair amount of research on Engineer's Toolbox, and I finally figured out how to get this refinery to work. The only problem is it produces this fluid.gascraft propellant. and I have no idea what to do with this stuff. So rather than trying to use this refinery, I think what we're going to do is set up for a fracker to go and utilize some of the oil shale that we have come across in the mining dimension. So we're going to go ahead and make the fracker here. Let's see here, we need to look that up. So the fracker takes 1 diamond, an electronic circuit, 2 hoppers, a piece of iron, a bucket, and a blank module. Now I think the only things that we have available there might be the hoppers and the diamond and the blank module. So yeah, we need quite a bit of stuff, and yeah, we don't have enough iron. So I'm going to have to go grab a bunch of iron out of the factory here. Now I've been running a whole bunch of stuff through here, and I suppose this is full of pulverized charcoal right now. I've been making the refined iron here, and so yeah, I've been trying to pulverize charcoal, and then I've got iron coming in behind it. It looks like we're actually into the iron now. So I'm going to grab a few stacks of this and put it into here, and then the rest of it we're going to put up here on top, just so that we can get more of the refined iron. And we'll take the rest of it back to the ME system. So now we should be able to make up all of the stuff that we needed there. So we needed a couple of hoppers, and we'll drop all of this stuff in there. So we needed a couple of hoppers. Okay, come on, you laggy. Okay, we also needed a bucket or 2, so we'll just grab a few of those. And now we should... Oh, we needed the electronic circuit yet, too. So we'll make a couple of those, and now we should be able to make the fracker. Okay. Now, a couple other things that I found while I was doing this. First off, we have this socket remote. Now, this thing wasn't real hard to make. It was an ender pearl, an electronic circuit, and a blank module. Now, to use this, you shift right-click to change its mode. Now, right now it is blue. That is for the tank selection. If we shift right-click, it turns green, which is inventory. Red is redstone circuit. Purple is redstone latch. White is generic. Yellow is lock, which will, if we click on this, you can see the little line goes away. And light blue is facade. So we can put facades on here too, unless that's saying these? No? I don't know. But on blue, we have now the tank select. So if we right-click on this module right now, it will move this little light blue indicator down. Well, these sockets have 3 internal tanks. And so you can see we're in the first tank right now. If we right-click, it'll be in the second tank. And then if we right-click again, it goes to the third tank. I'm not sure what this is. It might be off. But I was running in the first tank. Now, if we get up on top of this thing, and we're going to pull up these because they're all empty anyway. So this is our fluid input, and you can see that it is inputting into the first tank. So the oil was coming into the first tank, into the refinery. Well, the refinery then put it into the second tank, which you can see if we pick this tank up here. We're in the second tank for our fluid output on the machine. I can't remember what this thing is called. It's only seeing the socket. Well, we can pull this off of there. Where did it go? There it is. So the machine output. And so, yeah, that was dumping out into the tank. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what we're going to do with this stuff. But we are going to set this thing up for fracking the oil. So we will remove the refinery. we will remove this tank gauge. Where did that go? That's one thing that I don't like. These things fly all over the place. I don't know if we need the power input, but we'll leave it for now. The fluid input we're going to remove because we're going to probably want that on the side. But the one thing that we do need is the fracker goes on the bottom. So we will set this up to where we are running tank 1 on the blue. Now normally the green here is items, but from what I understand, the green is our output for the fracker. So the fracker works by pumping water or slick water into the oil shale, and it removes oil. And from what I understand, it does it fairly quickly. So we have our fluid input right here. We're going to put our fluid output on the other side. Or no, this is the fluid input. Okay, so we have our fluid input there, our fluid output here. So we want change our tank select. The output is going to be on tank 2. The input is going to be on tank 1. And now we should be ready with this thing. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to have to grab an aqueous accumulator and a few blocks, and I will meet you in the mining dimension. So I'm here in the quarry world, and as you can see, we have quite a few of these shales that have been left behind by the quarries. Now, the black ones, of course, are oil. The yellow ones are gas. There's also supposed to be plasma shale, but I think those may be disabled in this pack. So now what we want is to take our modular socket, and this will still be set up exactly as it was when we picked it up. So we have our input here on this side, our output over here, and so we're going to try to make this work. So the first thing that I want to do is take this resonant portable tank because I want to see if this thing is actually outputting. Then we are going to take a few blocks and we're going to make a little spot for some water so that we can have our aqueous accumulator working. And I just screwed that up. I just screwed it up some more. So let's go ahead and just place a little bit of a thing down here to hold the water. We'll get up on top of here and we'll put our aqueous accumulator down in the center. And then a bucket of water on each side. There we go. So now that thing should be filling with water, which it is. And then we need a pipe. So we have these super laminar fluid ducts, which are absolutely ridiculous. And you can see already we have oil. So yeah, this thing will give us literally unlimited oil. Now, if we had more water, this would be working faster. So I think what I may do here is make a few more of these aqueous accumulators and run this out a little ways. But one thing that I want to do, and I'm very happy to see this takes no power, is we are going to take, well, one of these tesseracts. I guess it doesn't matter which one. We're going to set this to Nathan's oil. We are going to be on fluid send. And then we're going to come up here and swap our portable tank so that it is outputting. Now the last thing to do is come in here into the claim chunks, and it looks like we are in this chunk, and then we want to control right click or control left click to chunk load that. And so now this should be chunk loaded and constantly working. So we're going to head back to the base real quick and see how much oil is actually coming into our big tank. Or if any is coming in here for that matter. So right now, nothing. Well, that may be a little bit screwed up. I don't know. We are on receive for fluids on Nathan's oil here, channel 102. So I don't know for sure. But yeah, I'm going to make up a whole bunch more of those aqueous accumulators and go line those up And I will be back in a little bit so that we can start utilizing that oil. So I've set up a couple of Buildcraft pumps down here in the ocean. Now, as far as I know, these should never be able to pump the ocean out. It should replenish itself. So this should give us an unlimited supply of water. Now, we are using a little bit of power here, but that's no big deal. And I think what I may do is add a few more of these and move this slightly out into the water a little bit, just so that we have more space. So, yeah, I've been getting tons of oil in. This is working really good. We're up to over 18,000 buckets. You can see we're getting roughly about a bucket every second or less. So now is the time to start using this stuff. So in my satchel here, and I upgraded these satchels to resonant, so they're a little bit bigger now. That's kind of nice. So I have some portable tanks. I'm going to grab a couple of those. I'm going to grab a tesseract, and then I have these refineries. Now finally we're going to need some flux ducts. We're going to need some fluid ducts, some servos, and some retrievers. So what I want to do, I've already set a tesseract underneath the center of this thing. That is on the oil 2 channel, I believe. So if we come here to the oil 2 channel, set the frequency on it, we're going to receive fluids and energy. And I don't think that's going to work for the energy. For now, I think we're just going to grab one of our redstone energy cells. So we'll set this down, set the face to output, and yeah, you don't need to be doing anything. So now we have everything set up there. Now if we set these 2 refineries down, we can run power into them with the energy cell, and then we will set our hardened fluid ducts on top of here. You can see immediately it fills with oil, and these guys will start working. Now the reason I made the retrievers is because I don't want to have, if I have a large bank of these refineries, I don't want to have to put a servo on every single one of them. So we're going to set down this portable tank and put, well, I guess we don't even have to put that on top. But we'll put this here, and then we can set a retriever on here, and it will search the pipe for items. So we'll set this to ignored, and immediately it starts pulling the fuel, the gasoline, out of the refineries. So what we need to do is set up a very large bank of these refineries somewhere. I'm not sure where we want to do that. If we take a look at the area here, so we have the tree farm here. We have this little area here that we could possibly do something with. Don't want to put it over here by my house, so I suppose this may be the area to do it, but what we're going to want to do is build a large refinery. So I suppose what I'll do, I'll make up a whole bunch more of these Buildcraft refineries, get something set up here so that we can start utilizing some of this oil. We're going to start making gasoline. I suppose I'll make another one of these Railcraft steel tanks in order to store the gasoline, and what I want to do with it eventually is use it in the liquid-fired boiler. So if we take a look at the boilers, we are currently using the solid-fueled boilers, which are fine, but we're kind of limited on how much stuff we can move around here from the tree farm, and the tree farm itself is kind of a limiting factor. So if we go instead with the liquid-fired, we can make our steam from this gasoline, and I don't know how fast it's going to be burnt. So, you know, one nice thing there is we can set the stuff up and we never have to worry about it again. It does take a lot of water to be able to get this oil, but we are getting the oil pretty fast. And in fact, we're still getting it in faster than we're using it with 2 refineries. So, yep, I'm going to make up a whole bunch of these refineries, probably level this area off, and get a few things set up, and I will be back in a little bit. Well, I didn't realize I was on the Hermitcraft server. Every time I turn around, it starts raining. And of course, it's daytime, so I can't even sleep it away. But so I've got set up here 23 refineries. We've got a tesseract here that is providing power. We've got this one here providing oil. And then I have a retriever on each of the lines that goes across the top and the bottom that is pulling out our gasoline. Now you can see our gasoline is going up incredibly fast. So I don't think we're ever going to be using it that fast. And if we take a look at our tank here, we are still bringing in oil faster than we are using it. So that's good. This tank is completely full. I'm going to want to set up a second tank right next to it here that holds the gasoline. And I don't know, I may want to move that tank as well. I don't know for sure. That's going to be kind of an interesting one to do, because I'd have to set up a full tank and then have that one drain out, but remove the input on it in the meantime and everything like that. So, I mean, that would be quite an ordeal to move it. But I may want to, because if I'm going to be building a refinery here, having those tanks is kind of an integral part of the refinery. So I don't know, I'll have to see. But yeah, we are producing a huge amount of gasoline right now. So probably in the next episode we will look at getting a liquid-fired boiler set up so that we can be producing our steam via this gasoline. So, yep, I think we are probably going to say that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts or tips or tricks or anything, go ahead and leave those down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!